Hi, my name is Waylon. I'm going to give a quick reflection of what I've learned in this course, the improvements that can be made, as well as how it has affected the way I deal with problems. So, for the first part, five things I'm going to take away from this course. The first one would be really how it has changed my mindset towards outsourcing in the sense that I used to think that outsourcing is a bad thing. People lose jobs, just because the company decides to cut costs. So after seeing so many examples of how outsourcing has benefited the people in terms of better quality jobs, better paying jobs, how companies actually do better, it certainly changed my mindset to a more positive one. The second would be core competencies, in the sense that outsourcing allows the company to actually focus on their core competencies, allowing them to bring better services and products to their customers by just outsourcing non-core processes. That's certainly something that I will remember. The third thing would be the vendor selection process, where there's so many criteria, so many factors to consider, from cost to the vendor's commitment to quality, their previous prior experience, what have they done before, and even the relationship to you, whether you trust them or have they worked with you before. That is certainly something that is very interesting. And moving on from there would be the winner's circle, winner's curse, sorry, where 20% of the outsourcing deals are actually affected by it. And the factors to avoid such a pitfall would be just to merely stop going for the lowest vendor, but rather to adjust your budget based on the quality of service you might expect, and also to allow the vendor to make a reasonable profit so that it cut costs. That's certainly something interesting to remember. And the fifth thing would be really the importance of a transition team to be in place during the outsourcing transition phase. How the team has to effectively communicate with the people that are affected, the employees that are affected, and how they must be empowered to deal with any problems that might arise during the process. That is certainly something that is interesting and I should say, important. So moving on to how the course can be improved. Well, one would be probably to invite somebody from the industry to give a guest lecture to share his experience so that we actually can take in some of his knowledge and see how he does deal with the issues. And the second thing would be give an assignment that simulates the whole outsourcing process from the start to the end so that the students can apply their knowledge as well as to get first-hand experience of how an outsourcing deal goes about. So for the last part on how it has changed my way of dealing with problems, I would say that it has certainly changed the way I approach a problem in the way that I don't go in charging and expecting I to win per se, but especially with working with other people, but rather I go in and through negotiation, through understanding what the other party is coming from, either work out a compromise, either win, lose some, or we work out towards a win-win solution. Yep. So that's my reflections for this course.